Hey YouTube! I'm back today and I want to talk about emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence and why do we not have more emotionally intelligent people? Welcome back to the Rob Blog. First off, what is emotional intelligence? I'm so proud of you for asking that question. Thank you. It's not talked about enough. So emotional intelligence is I do this a lot. So emotional intelligence is who can understand a person's feelings. Someone who can understand where they're feeling, where they are, and meet them where they are. So emotional intelligence is about taking yourself outside of your own feelings and placing yourself in the shoes of another to understand how they're feeling. A lot of times we don't do that. Unfortunately, there are a lot of emotionally insensitive people in the world, and that can come from, for example, when people don't want to understand your side of how you're feeling or your side of your story or why you're upset. So those are some emotionally insensitive people. It's not always about being right or wrong. It's about understanding why a person feels the way they feel. You know, oftentimes we get upset for people's feelings and then we react because of how they feel, but we're not taking the time to say, hey, why is this person feeling the way they feel? Emotional intelligence comes in 5 different pillars. The first one is self-awareness, and self-awareness is the time that you take to understand the feelings around you, whether it be your feelings or someone else's feelings. Self-awareness is being aware of everything around you, and that plays a huge part in emotional intelligence. Next is self-management. How do you navigate through those feelings when you do have bad feelings? Even myself, I'm working on navigating how I react to certain things or react to other people's emotions. You're able to understand that, things might not always be perceived well. You may have feelings that upset you. You may be on the other end of someone having bad feelings against you, but it's how do you still remain positive and how do you still remain to work to understand how that person's feeling and why they're feeling. Because again, like I said in the beginning of the video, most times we get upset, we get defensive, we conflict, we argue because of how someone else is feeling, but instead of taking the time to realize why they're feeling the way they're feeling. For number 3, we have motivation. Keep going when you have those negative feelings or negative feelings are being brought to you. How do you persevere? How do you have that positive spin no matter what? Motivation is not giving up when things are tough and when it's rough. Huge part of emotional intelligence, resiliency. Just never giving up when things aren't going your way or feelings aren't what you expected. Empathy, and it's one of my favorite ones because I truly feel like I'm an empath. It's again, recognizing things around you, being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and feel what they're feeling. For me, being an empath is hard because I feel a lot of different feelings at the same time. So it's also that plays a huge part that goes back to self-management, making sure you're being responsible of your feelings. I have to remember that although I'm taking on other people's feelings, even when it comes to me being a mental health facilitator, that I want to acknowledge what I'm feeling first, So it's really important to have empathy. So when it comes to emotional intelligence, social skills are really important. And social skills, being able to pick up on sarcasm, jokes, anger, sadness. Without the proper social skills, you won't be able to pick up these things, and therefore you won't know how someone else is feeling and being able to understand them better. Emotional intelligence is one of my favorite things and one of my favorite attributes because for me, I can always resonate with someone. I can always talk to someone and understand where they're feeling and where they're coming from. And regardless of my feelings, I can empathize with them and understand them a little bit better by just taking the time to know how they're feeling. So